realizing our dream to move to France came earlier than anticipated. Come with us and enjoy watching the trials and tribulations that have occurred. Follow me, Jo Harris, my husband Steve, and our gorgeous fox red Labrador Morse on our journey to integrate into the French society. Bon courage!
Being back in the UK, back at work and back into our normal lives seemed very dreary. The only consolations were that the children were nearer, and as you can see, Oxfordshire is a stunning county. However, the call of that little house in the Limousin was very loud, and we missed it terribly. The time dragged, and then with the COVID restrictions, it seemed we would never get back. But there suddenly appeared a window of opportunity, and we booked a crossing in early June. Sadly, my younger sister became poorly, so I remained in the UK to help her. But Steve ventured over on his own. He was met with rather a large surprise.
Right. Look at this lot. Oh my goodness. That's going to take some clearing. Okay, so after 3 months of not being here, this is what's happened to the garden. Slightly overgrown. Grass is about 4 to 5 feet tall. Good job, we've got a big powerful strimmer. We'll start this in the next few days when the weather clears up a bit.
So, after almost a whole day of relentless trimming, and with a little help from Big Mac, the garden began to look less like a jungle and back to normality. But Steve, in his own inimitable fashion, didn't stop there. His idea was to renovate the little room that adjoined the kitchen. The previous owners had made plans to put a small staircase in there, and there wasn't any other, so we thought this was a great idea. As you can see, it had a dusty earth flooring, crumbling walls, and was full of an eclectic mix of garden furniture and kitchen utensils. Apparently, this used to be the bread oven with its huge arched stone door. We understand that this would have been the bakery for the entire village at one time, but the oven itself was no longer in situ, and a whole new room had been added to the house. This was now the salon. Steve set about clearing the room and made his first attempt at line rendering. It took an eternity to dry, even in the warmth of the summer, but with the help of some fans it began to smooth out and looked fabulous. A new shelf was erected and the new floor laid, all from wood found in the grange. Once again, the barn will yield. Eventually, the refrigerator from the kitchen slotted into the corner and a cold room revealed itself. Another job well done, Steve. The next step, or should I say steps, were those up to the tiny patio. The originals were made of stone slabs, very wonky and pretty treacherous. By this time I had flown over to join Steve, and we set about making some new steps from some gorgeous sleepers we found in the garden. We also found 3 rather wobbly stakes supporting what looked like brambles and weeds. But after a bit of investigation and digging around, we realised that they were supporting sticks for a vine. So after a bit of tender loving care, the vine seemed to be saying thank you for removing all the weeds and detangling its branches. It grew and it grew and it grew. We found this beautiful terracotta pot in a local brocante for €30, believe it or not. It set the scene for sundowners and snacks.
Morning! It's Sunday morning, and rather strangely, Steve is mixing cement in the bedroom. The less said about that, the better. Thanks for watching again. We did, again, very few videos that early on, but I'm hoping that the little bits and bobs I've put into the photographs will make it a little bit more interesting. We did actually get a lot done, well, as you can see, as you've seen, and it was great, and the weather was amazing. It was almost too warm, but this house is very cool inside. So you sit in here with a jumper on and you go outside and get boiled. It's very strange. Anyway, we really enjoyed it. I had a great time, but we're very sad to have to go home again, back to the UK. But we knew that we were going to get back sooner, I think. There were still COVID restrictions and travel restrictions, and we had to have tests done, COVID tests done before we left and when we came back. So we had to organise all that sort of thing, or we knew we were going to have to do that later on. But sadly, again, I didn't make it this next time. But Steve came with Rosie again and his gorgeous son Archie. So I watched via Zoom and WhatsApp as they created my dream of a patio. So I hope that you will really enjoy that next time. We have a very funny video all sped up. It looks very funny. So yeah, hopefully you'll watch again and like and subscribe, as they keep saying, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.